Mascot horror game. What exactly is a mascot horror game? Well, according to my good friend Google, a mascot horror game is a game where instead of masses of enemies or an active horrific threat, the game makes the main terror be a recognizable corporal character or group of characters who can easily be the mascot of a children's media franchise. The term mascot horror game has existed for a long while, but it was popularized by one game, and that game was Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's, or Fnaf as I'll be calling it because I'm not going to take those extra few seconds to say the full title. Well, Fnaf is an indie horror game created by the one and only Scott Cawthon. Fnaf has been a huge part of my life, and I wanted to pay respects to that. While I do have some controversial opinions about the games in the franchise, I do at least enjoy every game. Yes, even Fnaf World, and Fnaf AR, and Security Breach, and wait, that's it for controversial games. I'm making this video to go over the first FNAF game, and I'm hoping to make this a whole series where I'll go over every single FNAF game and play them, because there are some FNAF games that I've never played. Anyway, I say we just jump right into it and talking about the first FNAF game, so sit back and enjoy the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 retrospective. Five Nights at Freddy's was released on August 8, 2014. It was released by Scott Cawthon, as many of you already know. Now, I think many of you know the reason why Scott Cawthon created Five Nights at Freddy's. Apparently, Scott got the main idea for FNAF from the negative reaction from his previous game, Chipper & Sons Lumber Company. People would say that the characters looked like scary animatronic animals, like the ones in Chuck E. Cheese. Scott, instead of going and crying about the negative feedback, decided to instead make a game about the scary animatronic animals, and boom! Five Nights at Freddy's was born. From what I know, Scott didn't have any trouble designing most of the animatronics, except for Foxy, where he considered either a wolf or a beaver. Funnily enough, both became animatronics in the future in the form of Roxanne Wolf and L. Chip. There was also Chipper's Revenge in FNAF World, but we'll talk about him when we get to FNAF World. That's it for the history of this first game. Scott Cawthon would also release a couple trailers, although the first two were unlisted for some reason, but the third one, which is the most popular one, is still up on his YouTube channel. Before we go on and talking about the gameplay, I think we should talk about some of the characters. Let's start off with the man himself, the main boy, Freddy Fazbear. I have no idea where the idea of a bear came from, but it fits. He has a big top hat on the top of his head, which is, where a top hat is supposed to go. I don't know why I had to specify that, but yeah. He also has a bow tie. And I think this is the Mandela effect, but I keep remembering having buttons on his stomach, but nope, that's only on his wither design. And we'll talk about that when we get to FNAF 2. Overall, I think Scott Cawthon managed to create the perfect balance between scary animatronic and, an actual children's character. So I can totally understand why there's so many children out there really liking these characters. Anyway, let's talk about Freddy's right-hand man, Bonnie the Bunny. And he's a little bit more creepier than Freddy, probably because he has no eyebrows. That's strange. Also, for some reason, him and Freddy don't have upper teeth. Again, that's something that Withered Freddy has. I don't know if Withered Bonnie has upper teeth. I mean, he doesn't really have a face. But yeah, I do prefer Freddy's design a little bit more, but Bonnie's not bad. He's more of a purplish color than the regular blue that most people associate Bonnie with, but it works with this iteration of classic Bonnie. Toy Bonnie will always be my favorite though. Sorry, not really sorry. Anyway, let's talk about Freddy's third right-hand man, woman? Is there even a other sidekick? Chica the chicken. She's a yellow chicken. For some reason, many people back then they mistaked her for being male and for Bonnie being female, which I can totally understand because Bonnie sounds way more like a girl's name. Oh shit, I was supposed to say something, yeah. So Chica has this bib with let's eat, and she's fat, so you can probably tell that she likes to eat pizza. She also has this cupcake, which I'm surprised she hasn't eaten yet. Knowing her, she probably will. Or it's the fact that it's made out of plastic, so you can't really eat it. But yeah, Chica's the least scary out of any of these. She just looks derpy, and I'm not really a fan of her design. She looks way too round and stuff. Sorry, not sorry. The last character I'll be talking about is Foxy the Pirate Fox, which is everyone's fan favorite. Or is he a fan favorite anymore? I don't know. I think Glamrock Freddy has taken that title. I think Foxy is my second favorite design, just below Freddy. But he has a very cool design with a pirate hook, because he's a pirate. No, I'm not gonna play that audio. I'm not. I have some dignity. But anyway, he's red, which is cool because he's a fox. Foxes are red, Anyway, as many of you might have noticed when looking at this render, he's a little bit scratched up. He doesn't look too good. He's also out of order, so I think that has something to do with it. But yeah, I really like Foxy's design. It looks like Scott tried to make him a little bit more scarier, but he doesn't really look scary. He just looks like a cute little puppy. Aww. That would be where I ended, but there's actually 2 more secret characters. First up, let's talk about Golden Freddy, which everybody knows. He's the little lore baby. He's just a Freddy recolor, nothing too special. He's definitely my second favorite now, so sorry Foxy. I just really like yellow bears. Then there's also the endoskeleton, which, he's actually kind of freaky. Like, whenever he looks at the camera, that's some scary stuff. So yeah, overall, I think all of these designs are really good, except for Chica. But, pretty good. The gameplay of Fnaf 1 is very simple. You only really need your mouse. As you can probably see in your office, you have 2 buttons on your left and your right. One button is for the lights outside of the door, and the other button is for the actual door. If you see an animatronic outside of your door, then you close the door. It's very simple. You'll also hear this guy called Phone Guy. He will leave messages every night, and you can listen to him, but something happens on night 4.
I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you. So when I did, hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. Oh no.
Yeah, he kinda dies. Well, that was a long-lived character. I don't think he'll appear ever again, so I guess we should just say goodbye. All of the animatronics have a unique pattern. Bonnie will be coming from your left side, and Chica will be coming from your right side. Bonnie will be looking in through the door, while Chica will be looking in through the window. And then there's Foxy. Foxy lives in his own little stage called Pirate's Cove. and you're gonna have to look at him to make sure that he doesn't come to your office. This doesn't deflect him, but more so delays him, so you can react easier to when he actually runs towards your office. Then there's Freddy. I don't really know how Freddy works. He's sort of the same as Fox, you have to look at him, but it's more so delaying him than actually stopping him, so take that as you will. But overall, the gameplay is very simple. There's also Golden Freddy, who will sometimes spawn in to your office, and you have to pull up your monitor, otherwise you'll get jump scared. Oh right, the jump scares. Whenever an animatronic actually gets into your office, you'll be meted with a jump scare. Jump scares aren't necessarily scary, but it's more so the shock of it. I have to say, all of the jump scares in this game is really good, except for Foxy's, but the others are really good. The way that they move back and forth really fast, it's kind of creepy in a way. And then the end screen where you can see what is presumably yourself inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Oh, and there's one more thing I completely forgot to mention, and that is the power. Everything you do uses power. Whenever you pull up your cameras, which is for looking for the animatronics, you use power. Whenever you use your light, you use power. And whenever you close your doors, you guessed it, you use power. And this is a really good mechanic, which makes you really save your resources. I have watched a bunch of Let's Plays, and one thing I see many people do is that they use the cameras way too often, and they also close the doors when the animatronics aren't even at the doors. They just mistake them for being at the lower end of the screen and thinking that they're at your office, when in reality they're not. That's basically it for gameplay. Like I said, it's very simple, but it works very well, and combine that with the atmosphere of the game, it truly is a very well constructed horror game. But for me personally, I've played this game so many times that I'm not really scared of it. When you compare Fnaf 1's lore to all of the other games, Fnaf 1 is a very simple game in its lore. When you actually get to see all the newspapers and actually read them, you realize that 5 kids went missing, and you can probably presume that they possessed the animatronics. That's mostly it for the lore, but it works. It really gives some more atmosphere to it. It also leaves some more questions like, who is the killer? How did the kids possess the animatronics? And what is the Bite of 87? So, we'll tackle more of that in the later videos in this retrospective, but that's it for Fnaf 1. And yeah, that's Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I basically talked about every point that I wanted to talk about in this video. And my overall thoughts is that this was a brilliant start to the franchise. It leaves questions, but it also gives you enough information to actually be interested. This was also my first video talking about this franchise. I created this channel to basically talk about the entirety of Five Nights at Freddy's. I might make some other types of content, but this was my first video because this is one of my favorite franchises. But yeah. If you guys feel like there's anything I can improve, then please let me know. I'm not really an expert at video essays and stuff, so if any of you guys have any tips to me, then please let me know. I'll very much appreciate that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and one more thing. I recorded myself playing through the entirety of Fnaf 1, and I will be uploading a video about that very shortly, probably in like 2 days, I don't know. Let me just edit that video first. So yeah, anyway, look out for that, and anyway, have a good day.